Tubers, tubettes, and of course my favorite group of all, the crazy people. If you're watching this video, there's a possibility that you're coming out to the Philippines for the very first time. And therefore, you are going to have your very own first 24 hours here in the Philippines. I pray with all my heart and soul that your 24 hours goes a lot better than my first 24 hours. It was just chock full of mishaps, miscues, mistakes, and I'll let the video speak for itself. All right, so here comes my video about my first 24 hours in Cebu, Philippines. Okay, so this whole video was inspired by her. She asked me the other day, hey, what was it like when you first got here to the Philippines?
Yes.
We've never talked about it before, the whole time we've been together. So that's why I'm doing the video. But before I get going here, I do want to take just a second. There's been a great big uptick recently in new subscribers to the channel. And I just want to take a minute and thank you and welcome you to the Old Dog family, as well as those that have been with me possibly since day one.
Yeah.
I want each and every one of you to know that you are truly, truly appreciated. Okay, so I think this is a good video for new subscribers.
Yes.
These might be guys that are just starting to look at the Philippines and trying to figure out and navigate how to get here. And so what I did prior to even getting on the plane was I watched a ton of YouTube videos. I watched the few guys that were out here at the time, primarily Rike and Ned and Bud Brown and those guys.
Yeah.
So I had a little bit of ammunition before I came out. And one thing that I did was I brought brand new $100 bills. I want to just make a little bit of an educational video out of this before I get into the meat of the matter. And that is, the reason you need brand new $100 bills is because those get you the best exchange rate, and if there's any kind of flaw or anything in the bill, you want to have it brand new from the bank. Okay, that's the lesson for this video. That's it. Now the rest is the story. Okay, so when I got to the airport, when I finally landed, I had been in the air over 35 hours. Not the air, but I was in airports. I had layovers. I cannot even remember where I initially went. My first flight was canceled the day before due to weather. So I had to start all over again at 6 o'clock in the morning on the second day that I was supposed to come out the day before. And so I was already dead tired by the time I got to the airport that day. Got on, went to, I think, San Francisco and then to South Korea. It doesn't really matter. To say that I was tired when I got off the plane is an understatement. I didn't sleep well. I can't sleep well on planes. In fact, there was some woman 2 seats over that coughed the entire 15 or 16 hours that we were flying. And so the reason I bring up the $100 bills is what I had learned in the videos that I watched was to first change money at the airport. This is a cash society. So debit cards and credit cards aren't nearly as widely used as they are in the States or your home country. So I did just that. I peeled off $200. I brought $8,000 in cash with me, and I changed it at the airport. Now, before you say it, I will. It's a lousy exchange rate at the airport. I know that, but it's one of those necessary evils. You do need some local currency in your pocket so you can navigate at least the first day, which is what I was planning on. And I didn't know what to expect. You can also change for more money once you get into town and get a better rate of return. Okay, so I get to the airport. I realize that I need to take, it was either a white or a yellow cab. I can't remember which one. I think it was the white ones that were metered. They said, make sure you take the white cab. So when I got out, I got down to the airport, got out the door, had a luggage and a backpack, that was it. 1 suitcase, 1 backpack. Found the white cab, hopped in. It indeed was metered, so I knew I'd made the right choice. I wasn't going to get ripped. And I said, I need a hotel room. And he said, which one? And I said, I don't know. I didn't book anything. So I said, just take me to some. And the guy did. And he took me to a hotel. I said, wait outside. I went up, I checked out the hotel. I didn't like it. It looked kind of run down and sleazy. And then I went to hotel number 2. They were sold out. Hotel number 3, it was either number 3 or number 4, to be honest with you. It was 7 years ago, and I don't remember. But hotel 3 or 4 was fine. It was, I think, $20 to stay there, 1,200 pesos, 1-2. And it seemed clean and amicable and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think I mentioned this, but I landed at 11. So by this time, it's now about 12 o'clock. And I check into the hotel, and I go upstairs to floor number 2, and get into my room. The room was nothing special. It was a bed, it was a CR, it was a shower, but it was fine. It was clean, it seemed secure, it seemed safe. To say that I was keyed up is an understatement. I was wound up tighter than a cheap watch. I had all this, I had no sleep. I had all this anticipation in me. I had 8,000 cash in my pocket that I was totally paranoid about. And so I had taken the cash and I'd stashed it all around the room. I put some in my suitcase. I put some in my backpack. I put some in the closet somewhere. And then I put some in my pocket. And I carried the pesos and I carried 500 USD with me or something like that. I was just really, really strung out and hyper and had no sleep. And I just needed to decompress. Looking back on it today, I don't even recognize that person. That's the God's truth. I just can't. I remember him, but he's like a distant cousin to me now. That's my own self. Being so strung out and so worked up and full of panic and anxiety and angst. And that was my condition. So, what do I do? It's noon. I haven't had any sleep. The smart thing to do was to just maybe go get something to eat and then go back to the hotel and lay down and chill out. Did I do that? No. Because I was so keyed up and I was so pumped up that I wanted to look around. I was initially let down when I got here. It did not look what I thought it was going to look like. It looked more like Mexico. I thought it was going to look like Thailand, but because I'd been there before. That's what I wanted it to look like. But so I was initially kind of disappointed and kind of let down a little bit. How the condition of the buildings, the infrastructure, just the smell inside the cab itself. The hotel was definitely nothing that you'd get excited about, even though I said it was clean, it was safe, it seemed to be secure. So I went downstairs and I was just kind of looking around, and there was a little shopping area below the hotel, and in it was a place where you could get a foot massage.
Okay.
And they had chairs lined up. And I said, okay, at least it's a legit, massage place. I don't need to go to some ricky ticky tacky whippy whippy place. Okay, I said, a foot massage. Ah, that sounds awesome. That will really decompress me because I love a great foot massage. And so I went in. It was only like 200 or 300 pesos. I was just amazed at how cheap it was. And went in and sat down, said I'll take a foot massage. They put me in chair number 4, big leather chair, and the lady came and sat down. She was kind of a heavy-set woman. And so we conversed back and forth a little bit. And she asked me, what's your name and where are you from and all the usual stuff. And I told her, and she let it go, and she started to give me the foot massage.
Okay.
All right. And so everything's going good. I'm really just starting to get a little bit relaxed. And then she said, you married? About 35 minutes into my 1 hour. I said, no. Well, why are you not married? Because I'm single. Well, you have a girlfriend? No. How long you be here? I just got here. 2 hours. You brand new. Yeah.
White skin.
Yeah. And so now, so she's talking, and she had been wearing a shirt or a blouse, button-down blouse. And somewhere along the line, where I had been leaning back with my eyes closed, enjoying the foot massage, a couple of buttons came undone. And so she was leaning forward like this. And like I said, she was kind of a heavy-set woman. And she had these big old boobies. And I realized that that was no accident. And then she said, you know what? How about where you stay? And like an idiot, I told her, well, on the second floor of this hotel. And she said, I come to your room, give you private massage. I said, no, you don't. I just want my foot massage. And she says, no, I give really, really good private massage. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't want to. And somewhere in the course of the conversation, I asked her, I said, she goes, well, I'm single mom. I need money. And I said, okay. I go, you got kids? She goes, yeah. I said, how many? She said, 8. And all I could think of was, she's got 8 kids and I've got $8,000. There's 1,000 for each kid. This girl gets into my room. And so, anyway, the last 20 minutes of my supposedly relaxing foot massage turned into a verbal combat, okay? I'm telling her, no, I don't need you, want you, require you to come up to my room and give me your special massage. It's just not going to happen. I paid her, I gave her a tip of some sort, I got out of there, and I walked in more uptight than I walked out more uptight than I did when I walked in after all that. I said, God, I don't need this in my life. And I said, this is brutal. They said, I'm off to a bad start. And I'm bound and determined to get a massage. Because I've had a bad back all my life. And being like on that plane in economy and those little tiny chairs, And back then I was 30 or 40 pounds heavier than I am today. So it was just like, I was just uncomfortable. My neck hurt, my feet hurt, my back hurt, my butt hurt, you name it. My head hurt. And so I said, you know what? I walked across the street and there was a lot more shops and a lot more going on. And I poked my head and there was no shortage of massage places. And they were all legit. They weren't, like I said, they weren't the funky ones. And so I just poked my head into a couple and I said, do you have a male masseuse? A male. I don't want a female. I want a male. Yes, sir, we do. And I said, okay. So I went in and got a massage, and this time not just a foot massage. I said, I'm going to get an hour and a half back and neck massage. And the guy was great. And he said, he was pressing on my neck, and he says, sir, you got high blood. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. He goes, you got the high blood. I go, I do? I go, can you fix it? I didn't know what he was talking about. Talking about my blood pressure. I didn't know how he figured that out. But anyway, so he kind of made me uptight saying, what's high blood? And so he does his thing. We get all finished. I go, okay, that was better. Pay him up. Then 200-300 pesos for the whole enchilada. And over tipped him, as all new guys do, of course. Walked outside, and I was a little bit spinning. I'd been on the plane. I hadn't had any sleep. I'd gotten into a fight with the first masseuse. The second guy was fine, but he had limbered me up a little bit. And I was not dizzy, but I was disorientated. I didn't really know where I was. And I hear this click-clack, 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 click-clack of these high heels running at me. And it's this woman. Hi. And I'm standing there because I am brand new. I am as white as a sheet. Yeah, just as white as driven snow. No sun in my face for, 30 years. And so I was just a target. And this woman comes up to me and starts giving me the third degree. What your name, where you from, where you stay, what you do. I want to be with you. And it turned out that she was a he. It was a lady boy. And she told me, I'm a lady boy. And I said, well, good for you. And so I said, she goes, what hotel you stay? I said, that's a damn good question. I can't remember because I really was in this fog. I was in this daze. And I did look and I spotted my hotel. I can't tell you the name of it if you put a gun to my head. And so then I looked to my left and I saw another hotel. And somehow along the line, she had weaseled my name out of me, my age, where I was from, all this in 2 minutes because I was dazed and confused. And so I pointed to the wrong hotel. I was staying there, but I pointed to the wrong hotel. I said, that's where I'm staying. She goes, oh, I come see you now. I said, no, I've got things to do. And I said, she goes, tomorrow? I said, sure, just to get rid of her. I said, just please, tomorrow's fine. That's great. I didn't mean it. I figured she'd go the wrong place or not show up. Anyway, I went to get some dinner. My first meal was, do you remember what I told you?
What?
Mang and a salt.
Wow.
Yeah, she goes, wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was awful.
Well, you know,
Chicken on a stick. I was wanting to have like a meal.
unlimited rice.
Unlimited rice.
Unlimited soup.
Yeah, good for you. So, this is not going well. But I made the most of it. So, I am still keyed up. Again, I needed nothing more than some sleep. I needed some rest. I needed to just chill out. I had Xanax with me back in the day. I could have gone back to the room, popped a Xanax, gone to sleep, which is what I needed. Oh no, not me. I had to look around some more because I was wired. I'm in the Philippines. I've been dreaming about this for 12 years. There was a place called Murphy's Pub. And it was a place, Irish place, obviously, and he was a guitar player, really good. And I went in and I sat down at a table and I ordered water. I did not drink any alcohol. I'm not a teetotaler. It's not that I can't have a beer now and then. But I just felt that it was prudent for me to stay sober because I was so tired. And I felt, boy, one beer would just knock me out. So I stuck with water. I must have had 3 or 4 waters because it was also very hot and very humid. But I was enjoying the music. I was finally starting to relax a little bit. I went to go use the CR because the 4 bottles of water that I drank is going through me. As I came back from the bathroom, I leaned on the table. Did I mention I was 30 or 40 pounds heavier than I am today? I leaned on the table for some reason, and the table had already been kind of teetering, and it just collapsed. And I went down to the ground, flat on my back, and knocked my head. And right there at good old Murphy's Pub. And it took like 2 guys to pick me up. And you ever have one of those moments where you just want to vanish? You're just so embarrassed, you just want to shrink into the ground and disappear. Everybody in the place was looking at me. I just knew they thought that I was so drunk that I had fallen down and couldn't get up. When the exact opposite was true. The table just gave way underneath me and I went down with it. That was my sign to go home. So I got out. They didn't even charge me. I said, how much do I owe you for your waters? They said, you're fine, sir. Just go. And so I said, all right, whatever. And I went back and wandered back to the hotel. It was starting to get dark at this time because we had landed at 11. And so I got back to the hotel. I popped the Xanax and I slept for about 15 hours. And that was exactly what I needed. All my money was there. The $8,000 was safe. I took my shower, shaved, brushed my teeth. Didn't have any breakfast or anything. I just went downstairs. I had checked the night before how to get to the bus station to go to Dumaguete. That was my plan. My plan was land in Cebu, spend the night, get a bus, which is all these things I'd watched on YouTube, and go to Dumaguete. And so I went downstairs, had my little suitcase, and I had my little backpack, and I was standing in line, and I called a cab. Cab came over. He said, take me to the bus station for the Dumaguete bus. They're putting my stuff in the cab, and who comes running at me, yelling my name? The lady boy from the day before. Hi, Paul. Hi, Paul. And for the second time in 12 hours, I wanted to sink into the ground because now everybody's looking at me again like, oh, this guy's with this lady boy. And you know, this is how stupid I was back then, or how new I was. She wanted to get in the cab with me, and she wanted to come to Dumaguete with me, and she wanted to I gave her 1,000 pesos to go away. I said, just leave, just take this and go away. And these people are watching me give her 1,000 pesos, and I was just feeling pretty ashamed and humiliated, and why, I don't know. I have ladyboy friends here now, but that was then, this is now. And I got to the bus station, and I spent a solid 20 minutes trying to navigate that, figuring out how do you find a bus to Dumaguete. And I must have asked a dozen people, you know, just where do I get this bus to Dumaguete? But the good news is I found it. We took off at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then I landed here in Little Dumaguete, and the rest I'll tell you in another video. So thanks for joining me.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you had a good laugh at my expense. I hope you guys learned something from this. Number one is change some money at the airport. Bring brand new $100 bills. Research, I can't remember if it's the white cab or the yellow cab. And what you might want to do is go ahead, which I didn't do. And again, it's up to you what you do. Maybe you want to book yourself a little nicer hotel room than what I had, because I didn't really feel all that safe there. And so there's some nicer places in Cebu near the airport where you can accomplish what I did too. All right, kids, we'll see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye.